Hey,
Hi.
good evening, everyone. Welcome to Two Broke Witches. We made it.
Hello. It's Monday. We really picked a great day, didn't we, on Monday?
Oh, yeah. Everyone's still a little hungover. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm having some para hangover today. Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Is that a
sure
thing?
after your long weekend.
Is that a thing? Yes, para hangover is legitimately a thing. Like, you do too much paranormal stuff. Anybody who's ever investigated, the next day you're literally sitting there, like driving home. You probably don't remember driving home. I don't tell my mom that. She already worries enough. Yeah,
Interesting.
para hangover's real.
Yep.
Interesting. Well, I know when I come back out of the woods looking for Bigfoot, I'm just dirty and stinky, but that's another story. So,
Well, welcome, guys. I'm kind of like, this is a little surreal for me. This is like a project I've had in my mind for like 5, 6 years now. So actually seeing it happen is like, ooh,
Yes.
I'm like really
Uh,
excited.
make sure you all like, share, and subscribe to the two YouTube channels. Shay's is Psychic Artist Shay on YouTube, and we also have Para or Normal Guys. That's guys with a Z at the end. And we want to give a shout out to Yerg's Radio and Rainbow Radio. Thank you all so much for everything you do, and
Thank you.
welcome. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you, Chris. Oh, I can actually see the comments. Look at
Hey,
all
Chris.
that.
Glad to have
Okay.
you join us.
Where to start?
Here we
Well,
are, Shay.
we titled it Meet the Witches. So I guess I'll start at the beginning. Hello. Hi. My name is Shay Smith. I am a psychic medium, a paranormal investigator, a Reiki practitioner, a intuitive artist, a whatever you want to put under that category. It's all things weird, strange, creepy, and or cool. Um, that's what I do. And I approached my good friend here, Amanda, with this crazy idea. And for some weird reason, she said yes. So she kind of helped me get this ball rolling with this. So, Amanda, please tell us about yourself in 500 words or less.
Oh, gosh.
No pressure.
Hopefully less. So, for those of you who are kind of around and you've seen me on with Glenn and Cheyenne, you know a little bit about me. But Shay and I both live here in Kentucky. I used to be a professional wrestler, and since I'm not wrestling anymore, I feel like something has kind of been missing, you know. So, when Shay came to me with this idea, I said, yes, this is it. This is what I need to do. This is going to fill that hole that I've been feeling from not wrestling anymore. So I was like, let's do it. And here we are.
I still think it's so cool that you used to like wrestle. And to me, I'm just like, she could kick my ass if she wanted to very easily. So I have to keep that in mind as well when I'm doing all these things, just so you know.
Hey, if we can't get into a place we want to investigate, we'll just break down the door. It's fine.
We are not condoning or discouraging this. We are just saying accidents
Just
happen
saying. Yeah.
all the
There's a
time.
door. We need through it. Things happen.
I have my own personal superhero. Yeah.
just remember though, if y'all are running from something, she could take you out quick and leave you for the sharks. Just a thought.
I'll
I
be the
already
one getting
know.
scared.
Look, if we have to run, even like zombie apocalypse kind of stuff, I've been questioned before. I am the weakest link. I will be the one tripping over air and falling so everybody else can like survive. So just make me look good when you write the stories, is what I would assume my friends should do.
It's like that meme where it says, bitches be tripping. Nah, I pushed them.
That's a whole different story. I still want people to think I'm sweet. Come on. Why? And if you all see me
Oh,
like looking off to the side quite a bit, so I am an intuitive artist, which I call myself a professional doodler. So literally, I will draw and do things while I'm doing this because spirits like talking to me sometimes, and there's stuff that I just want to get out. So I'm here, maybe not mentally all the way tonight because of like a pair hangover, like I said, from Scarefest this recent weekend that just happened. So yes.
Yes. Thanks, Chris. Yes, that is a compliment. Shay, how was Scarefest?
If you don't know what Scarefest is, shameless plug here. I was attending it this year. I was a speaker, which was really cool. I did a seminar on Friday about, it was entitled The Psychic Life, basically about if you think you have abilities or somebody you know, or you just kind of have questions about stuff that just happens to you. I wanted to kind of do like a brief overview of how to recognize, grow, and protect what your abilities, gifts, whatever you want to call them might be. So that was super cool. I was very honored to be able to do that. And then I read all weekend, and I mean all weekend. Friday night was good. Saturday, I didn't even like get a chance to leave the table. Like thankfully I think I went to the bathroom one time between like, 11 and 9 p.m. So it was crazy busy. The numbers were huge. Scarefest is a paranormal and horror convention, one of the biggest ones in the US actually. Um, it was wild. And I was super blessed because my boyfriend put up with me the entire weekend. And he was super helpful. And if I hadn't had him to like keep stuff in line, anybody who's ever seen me at events knows that I am not the most organized human on this planet. And it definitely shows. So he was really great at helping keep all my ducks in a row. So it went so smooth. It was just, I'm very blessed. I had a lot of fun too and got to see a lot of cool costumes and cosplays. Like some of those people, the dedication required to wear some of these outfits.
Yes.
Dang, because this girl walked by that had on like 10-inch stiletto heels, and I don't really feel like I'm exaggerating, in this costume with wings and horns. And like, I mean, I'm over here crying in my freaking combat boots. Like, my feet hurt out, and I've been sitting down all day, and I was like, oh my God. So, yeah, if you ever get a chance to go, please, Amanda's been. That's actually how we met. So, like, yes, it's
I
always
used to
amazing. It's like,
volunteer every
and
year.
the volunteers and the staff, just it's like a big family. And this is the first time I read in the last couple of years, so since COVID actually. So I was, yeah, we had a good time.
I
Lots of
used
good
to
times.
volunteer in the tattoo section. I would volunteer because I mean, I have a lot of tattoos, so I would help them like get set up with the health department and everything and kind of knew the rules just where I've been in tattoo places so much. So it was kind of cool to get in there and help them with all of that. I had to drive all the way to like London, Kentucky once just to get a piece of paper to submit to the health department. It was crazy.
Oh, it is crazy how far people do come for that, though. Like,
Yeah.
there are people that fly from other countries. Like, we're
Yes.
talking that 8 to 12 hour flight, and
Mm,
just for that weekend. So
yeah.
yes, so much fun. I am
Yeah.
so paying for it today.
I'm sure, especially going
Oh,
right back to work.
yes, that was a really smart decision on my part. Again, adulting.
If when we have our vendor booth next year, I'll definitely be taking my day off.
I always say I'm going to, but I never do. I really don't understand what's wrong with me. So maybe I'll remember to next year, which will be like my 9th time there. I don't know. I've been going for a lot of years,
Yeah.
and this was the 16th year it's happened. So
Mhm. Yeah. Long
yeah,
time.
Scarecrows. I
I'm
am
glad y'all had
excited
a good
though.
time.
There are some other conventions I did discover this weekend that hopefully we'll be able to get in on and participate in too, that I've discovered and made some new friends. So that's my
Nice.
favorite part about Scarefest, is meeting the new people, seeing the
Yes.
family, meeting new people. So stay tuned for more announcements on that, because I will start publishing a calendar of events for next year.
Yep. And we're also going to have a Venmo link if anyone wants to donate so we can do more conventions and come see everyone.
Gas is expensive, y'all. I don't care where you
Yes.
live, it is not cheap. And, they charge money for us to stay and sleep in some of these places. So it'd be really great to not have to be in my car. If anyone would like to take pity on us, because that's the next step.
Yes. We have to pay for a spot, at the convention, and gas and everything. So we will have that Venmo set up soon. For any donations, they will be
We should just call it
appreciated.
like a caffeine fund. That
Right?
feels like probably majority will be on that.
Help keep us going.
Please.
I haven't had caffeine in over 3 weeks.
What?
Oh,
Is that possible?
Yep.
I haven't
Yeah.
had caffeine since 3 o'clock this afternoon. That might be.
Yeah.
Dang.
I
Okay.
health issues. So I had to just
Fair.
caffeine, no coffee. I haven't even used my coffee maker.
Well, I told you earlier, like, if anyone wonders what I'm drinking, I'm old. This is literally herbal tea. I wish I could be like, yeah, I snuck some bourbon in there, but no, not tonight, friends. I'm too tired.
I've got it
Chris, 3 minutes here.
with my little
That's me at
Ouija
work.
board.
Look how cute. Somebody actually gave us a channel. Can you believe that? Like, they gave us the show. Just saying, like, this is really a thing. So,
I think you're still in shock.
That's what I always
I told
say
you the
about
brain.
FM. They say you get
Yeah.
15,000 listeners. I'm like, who the hell wants that? How did I get that?
Why?
Why? How is that interesting?
Hey, I always joke and say if like a camera could follow me, the stuff that people would see, I swear, it feels like it only happens in movies, but then I'm like, no, this is life. This is really happening right now.
Yes.
So this will be a little
Yeah.
snippet of it.
Right.
Okay. So if you're wondering how the show is going to go, besides us just kind of up here BSing around, which yes, majority will probably be that. But we do have some interesting things in store. Some episodes will be longer than others due to having special guests, which I'm working on. So I can't disclose anybody currently, but I will say that I really have some really cool friends that I've met in the paranormal field and kind of the weird side of life and over the last 10, 15 years. So hopefully some of them will love me enough to be like, yes, I will talk to you. Also, investigations that we are going to start doing. Hopefully, I may have one lined up within the next week. I think. I haven't even told Amanda yet where it's at. It's actually a different one than we discussed before. So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah. So, it's kind of a side quest now at this point. So,
You just tell me when and where, and I'll be there.
I will say if I can get this place to open its doors to us, it's full of interesting objects that should carry a lot of different energies. So I will be very curious to see what, who, and things that we pick up on.
Yeah. I'm already creeped out. This is great.
There are some creepy objects. There's some in there that I'm not a huge fan of. And if you know me personally, you can probably guess exactly what some of these objects are that I don't deal with, but I am more than happy to speak with. But they won't ever be in my house.
Yeah.
Again, not going to give anything, but if you know me, you know.
If it were up to me, I wouldn't even have mirrors in my house.
I don't have extras. My bathroom, that's the only place I have a mirror. That's it.
Yeah.
It's too that makes it too busy for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mirrors, if people don't know, they say that they are portals. Now I'm saying they say, as in if you Google this, like, why should I not have mirrors across from each other kind of scenario that happens a lot. They are portals. I will 1000% agree with that. I've seen it happen. Also, like, I don't know. I've had a few places where the mirrors just have an off vibe. I know some people use them to like scry and do some divination things with. I have done it with like a black mirror before. That's going to be a whole nother show. But like, yeah, using mirrors are just, you have to be very careful because it's a doorway. What you let in does not always go back out. So, yes. I don't want a busy house.
No. And tell us what else we're going to be doing on here, Shay.
Let's see. Topics. Really, nothing is off limits. Like as far as like weird stuff, like I'm very much open to the idea of other things and people's views and stuff like that. I'm always learning. We call ourselves professionals in a field where nothing is legitimately certain except for things that we're scientifically able to prove with like energy and stuff like that. So topics are going to cover things from tarot cards, things that I'm familiar with, intuitive drawings. I would like to throw in things about some cryptids and UFOs and some of the other spectrums of the paranormal, not just hauntings, because I think that when you say paranormal, people just assume it's ghosts, it's things that are haunted, it's stuff like that. Paranormal just means outside of the norm. Do you know that encompasses pretty much anything that's just not the standard for normal. So that gives us a really, yes, yeah. I've never once had someone look at me and go, "You're completely normal. Thank you."
Right.
Like, what I get is, "I'm so glad you're my kind of weird." And I'm like, "Thank you. That's such a compliment to me."
Yes.
So yeah, all of everything you can think of, I'm going to try and see if we can fit into some of our shows. Mm-hmm.
And we also take suggestions over in the chat. If you have a place or anything, like
if there's something you think that we should be looking into, discussing, let us know.
Let us know.
Even if it's super far out.
You all will be setting up a voicemail soon so that they can send you a message. So in a Gmail, I assume. So
yeah, I actually set up a message for the voicemail today.
Cool.
I'm glad she's so on top of this because I'm like always like at least 5 hours late to the conversation for stuff, and I'm like, oh, good, someone else has finally decided to do. Like, yeah, thank you. I just show up. That's what I'm doing.
We have a good vibe though because you take care of certain things that you're good at, and then I'm over here taking care of other things, and it's a very good combination, I feel like.
Thank God. Like, yes, balance. If that's not the word of the day.
Yes, it's a very good balance.
Now, if people have questions in the chat, are you open to having them, I guess, be read or whatever the correct terminology is? Okay.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. My style of doing readings for people, I always tell them, is super conversational. I don't have a whole lot of rules, just, don't mess with my cards, obviously. Which, side topic here. Okay. If you guys have never had a tarot card reading, even then, I would think that there's enough movies and things out there to be like, you know what? You don't just go up and grab someone's cards. I'm in the middle of a reading this weekend. This happened on Saturday. And that's like a very personal thing for me. Of course, you're at a convention. It's not always going to be super private, obviously, but it's a personal moment. They're opening themselves up to me to be read. I consider that a very high honor. I'm in depth with this lady. This man out of nowhere just comes by and goes, "Oh, look at those," and like slams his hand down on my table and like grabs a deck of cards that I have sitting there. And my face, I was too shocked to even say anything like, get away, or I don't know. Everything inside of me was like, this is happening and I can't do anything about it right now because I don't like prison. So I'm like, the lady that's on the other side that's getting the reading, she was like, "You're not supposed to touch those." And then this girl behind him goes, "Put those down." And he was like, "They're just cards," and like throws them back down on the table. And I'm like, why? How much bad juju in the movies do you need to see that you don't play with other people's stuff? Do you mean?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
It's just rude.
Yes. I had a moment where I had to just breathe. So I couldn't go across the table. That's,
Right.
I digress.
And that's where Amanda comes in.
Security. Yeah, I started screaming. Yeah.
I break out the mom. I'm like, "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me."
I mean, yeah, everybody in the whole area was just kind of like looking at him like, why? What are you doing? Okay, this comment over here, please, please do Bigfoot sightings in Winchester.
Ooh, we can do that out here at the farm.
So they're asking about Winchester. I would like to say, but your farm, yes, because there's already a few things. I've never been there, but I can already tell you right now. I'm excited. Winchester just started a haunted tour downtown, and my sister and her friend went on Friday night. And I do not know the name of the lady who's doing this, but I will have to find her after this. She is extremely knowledgeable and extremely good at what she is doing. She dropped some knowledge that I didn't know. I know that Winchester is situated right near Daniel Boone National Forest and right near the Red River Gorge. There's a lot of weird things that happen in that area. We're like real close to getting into, the Appalachian Mountain area region. So there are cryptids everywhere. I learned, yes, I was told not only about Bigfoot being one of our top cryptids and nobody come after me until I actually verify this in research, but I was told potentially the first Mothman sighting was actually in Winchester, Kentucky, and it was not in Point Pleasant. I didn't know this. I didn't know. So we're going to be doing stuff on my hometown. We're going to be doing stuff on Amanda's hometown. So I don't know enough about hers yet. But yes, Chris, I agree with you. That man was a special human. But yes, I like tripped out, and I didn't think anything about it. But my sister and me, when we were driving one time where I live at, the street over is called Belmont. Belmont itself is one of those areas that has a lot of stuff. And if you do know Winchester's history a little bit, you know that there are houses down there they put off a vibe. I saw something, and I didn't equate it with Mothman because at the time I wasn't really too versed on cryptids, but huge black figure in the trees above me driving to my left because I was heading towards Main Street, and I freaked out, like almost slammed my brakes on. And I was like, did you see that? Did anybody else in this car see that right now? And they're like, what are you talking about? I swear to God, it was this huge winged thing like in the trees. And I started connecting the dots when she told me that. And I'm like, did I? Is that possible? Like, I don't know what happened afterwards, but yes, food for thought.
Yes. I have a couple places I'm working on here in my town too. So I'm pretty excited.
Have a lot of historical stuff too.
Yes. And my husband is related to some people here. So that leads to another place. Mm-hmm.
Hatfields,
and we also have what, Glenn?
Hatfields and McCoys?
No. My husband is related to the Blackburns, and we have the Blackburn house here in Versailles.
I know just enough to get me in trouble with that. You do have that house?
Like, yes, it's in the book of haunted places.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it.
Uh-huh. And my husband is related to them.
Okay, that's I'm intrigued now.
Yeah, so we'll have to see what we can do there.
History buffs.
I don't know that there's enough info for you to do anything with that, but I put that comment up there.
Okay, so as a paranormal investigator, I haven't really gotten anything from her. Is she with me? Here is something that I have discovered being a paranormal investigator, not just the medium that I am. I have a past relative. It was my father. He passed away last year, actually, almost it was a year ago to the day on the 13th. I've been investigating different places, and I'm always like, I don't want him to come through on something. But at the same time, I'm like, it'd be really cool if he did. If I get this name Rick pop up somewhere, I'm gonna be like, that's mine. There's not a lot of Rickies in the world. It's not a super common name right now. So I have found that they are not going to show up in the places that we go because that's not for them. And really, if you, I don't know you personally, I don't know your name, I don't know anything, but I'm going to tell you that I don't feel like her right now, but that is something that if you did want to contact me personally and privately, I'd be more than happy to try and do a reading for you. With mediumship, I always tell people that it is like going fishing, same with kind of ghost hunting. I can ask to speak with someone. I don't ever force anybody to come through. If they'd like to, then I am more than happy to try and provide answers for you. Um, but yeah, as far as investigating, some people have it show up, and I think that's because a lot of people are afraid to speak out to past ones because they are afraid that they're going to get startled and scared. Um, that's actually been the theme this past weekend for some readings that I did. They're like, I think they're there, but I don't want to talk to them because what if they show up in front of my face? And I'm like, that's a fair point, and I can understand that. Investigating, sometimes it's just easier for them to come through on equipment and things than it is just to poof in the house. But yeah, feel free to reach out to me. My personal pages, Shay Smith, Southern Psychic Medium, even Two Broke Witches. If you guys want to pop some messages through there, I will do my best to try and contact everybody and get in touch with you as well.
Awesome. Welcome, Clarence, by the way. Please like, follow, share, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Welcome, everyone. Hope everyone pops up in the chat, ask questions, comment. We want to see
hi.
you all tonight. Yeah, just say hi.
Say hi. Drop an emoji. You can, I don't really, say something. Yes, I'm excited about your farm, though.
Yeah, me too. I wanna get down to it, and of course, my neighbor, she's like, "You'll have to talk to my husband. I don't know all about it, but he does." And she says it's just past their house, so it ends at their house, and then we're next, and it goes on past us.
Also, hashtag anybody has a trail cam they're not using. I'm going to purchase one, but it could be fun to have that for those kind of investigations. And if anybody can recommend a good one that has really good night vision and doesn't look like it's a blurry fuzz monster coming out of the forest, that'd be real cool. Because apparently I don't hunt, fully support things like that because I grew up in the country and that's what my family did. But if you have recommendations on good ones, please let me know.
I'd like to try the laser too. Have you seen where they used the laser? You all may have done this on one of yours, and you
Like
can
a
see if
laser grid?
something passes through it.
Yeah, I have laser grids.
Yeah, nice.
Yes, I have these smaller pieces of equipment. I have.
Yeah.
Do they always work? No, because I've dropped most of them, probably at least 15, 20 pounds a piece. It's dark when I do this. I do too. So I still am just really bad. But the laser grids are cool. I've seen some interesting things on those for sure. Specifically Clay County Jail in Florida. That was one of the coolest laser grid experiences things that I've seen because I mean it was the whole outline of this man. Incepted into it and then just kind of dissipated. Like he didn't go away. He just went like I don't know. It was trippy. It was very cool. It was neat. I had a good time on that one.
So let's make a note here. Amanda carries equipment.
Wrap Shay and bubble wrap that too. Like that's probably
so when I get scared, I can just roll you out.
Yeah, there's worse ideas out there.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have so much fun.
Oh God. The comments. I can hear the commentary in my head now trying to listen back to evidence.
Right?
It's gonna be fine.
It'll be like beep, 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 beep.
No, that's reserved specifically for bats. That a bat infested area and potentially whatever spirits decide to play the fun trick of popping right off in my face. Like literally.
Oh my
Boo.
gosh.
I don't like when they do that, but I've had that happen to the point where there are words. There's lots of words, but yes. Yeah. I'm colorful. I invent new words sometimes. I'm such a lady.
Yes. Oh gosh. I looked at vehicle wraps. I was like, that'd be so cool to get Two Broke Witches on my vehicle.
I like it. Yeah,
Yes.
I told somebody the other day what my logic was behind the name. Hey, Flex. Um,
Hey, Flex.
so I really wanted it to, play off that show, Two Broke Girls. In my
Yeah.
world, we're two broke bitches. I mean, like that. But I was like, I
Yeah.
can't do that. I cannot like literally
Yeah.
have like a national name. And I was like, oh yes, Two Broke Witches. So if anybody's
It
wondering,
worked.
where the sign from the Lord and heaven and stuff came down, it wasn't. It was just me going, I have to be better human and change the name. Like that's literally what it was. Yep. Hot Mess Express.
I
Oh
was
my
afraid
gosh.
if you put that wrap on your truck, you'll be pulled over frequently.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Uh,
Can't be any
hmm.
worse than it is now since I had it lifted.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, it's real bad
But,
around here when you have a lifted truck. So, but with a lifted truck, you can't really speed. So
well,
they
what
would
do
hit.
they do though when it's a chick that like rolls down the window and stuff? Because I know they're probably expecting,
Right?
a good old boy, and
I'm
you're
like,
just like,
hey, how
yes,
you doing
officer.
today? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm
So,
sure they would be shocked.
so to give you a heads up and Flex, please, if you could make that happen and let Frog know, that would be awesome. Uh, to let you all know what a raid is, it's another show that comes on and puts yours up on their show, and their viewers come into the comments. It's kind of what we do on Misfits when we bring up like the Pensacola, Key West cams and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't. So I'm not like super familiar with the world of this stuff. So that's new for me. That's super cool. Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah, and if it's Uncle Rico's show, they're great people. You'll get some great comments, but we've made some good friends. Chris has a
Hmm.
question.
My mom passed away in February 21. Since then, I've been experiencing a lot of things I cannot explain. Nothing evil, very comforting in each given situation, dreams, and while awake out in public. Yeah, that's a whole lot of love. That's what
Yeah,
that is. And that's extremely cool. Also, I would say probably if you're having a lot of things happen since then, as much as we don't like it, emotional trauma sometimes does crack open things in us to kind of, let me get mystical, awaken abilities that we might not know that we had, or things that we just haven't really actually grown or listened to very much. So the things that you're seeing right now might kind of be because of that too. It might not just be her, but it could also just be like, okay, this thing happened to me, and now I'm just aware and more open to what's going on around me. So maybe start writing some of those things down. Who knows? You could have a book in the making. Hint, hint, wink,
yeah.
wink.
Nice. And
I'm hoping
Flex is
that
on
happens.
the Shuley network. I'm sorry. That's on me. Yeah,
Very good.
Shay, I had a weird dream the other day. That was kind of really read much into dreams, but I woke up and I was still laying there and I dozed back off, and my old dog that's passed away by I don't know 5, 6, 7 years, uh, suddenly was in my face and was about to lick me, and as soon as she went to lick me, I woke wide awake. It was the weirdest thing. I've never had anything like that before.
Well, it makes me really happy when animals visit. I've had several people tell me about that lately. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if you were feeling nostalgic before then, or if do you have a dog now?
Oh yes, yeah, yeah.
Do you live in a place where strays can like just kind of come up and hang out?
Oh, we do have this neighborhood cat that likes the front porch.
I don't know. You might be getting a new dog soon.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm
My
kind of,
wife
I don't know.
may,
It was my first thought. May not be nothing, but like, I don't
my
know.
wife may not like it, but it happens.
Well, don't ask questions where the animals came from. Just love them. Just don't worry about that 13th cat. It's fine.
Yeah. Do like me and go to a festival and come home with a dog.
Yeah, sounds right, Chris. You do remember that story. Uh, yeah. Yeah, a weird thing happened one day. Some kid come up to the door. Don't
Stray
know him.
children?
and he knocked on the door and asked me if I could give him a ride to school. Like, what? It was weird.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And
That's
Flex,
pretty
I'm not
funny.
sure what you mean. What sort of what? But yeah, he come up to the door. The cable guy was here, so I guess just he saw the front door open, and all of a sudden
Something in my upstairs just made the loudest, like, bang to the point where, like, the floor moved.
Well, I will tell you that when we do the paranormal shows, especially we do the UFO shows, technical stuff goes to hell. So
my house is already like this. This whole weekend's been like this. But that was just really, really loud. Like, I have these on. So the fact that I heard that, hopefully the cat just like didn't destroy something upstairs, but he hasn't done that so far. So we'll find out. But I don't know, because that was, I don't know. That was weird.
What kind of dog? I'm not sure.
A long dog.
No, I don't want a wiener dog. Sorry.
No, this is like a big, fluffy, white. I don't know. It's a large dog. This sounds dirty, and I'm afraid to ask questions now.
I'm happy for Bob. You have to embrace and lead into the chat. You have to, because if you don't, you just don't have any fun. You know,
I'm here for it.
And I've seen some of these shows where they do go raid someone, and the people get like, you know, suddenly we've got a dozen viewers now. Suddenly you get 90 viewers, and they're like, "What's going on?" And they want to block it or stop the show. Lean into it. Have fun with it. That's what we're here for. You want people to see us. You want to.
No, I love the talking back and forth. The weirder the questions, the better it is for me. That's a whole different. I know that's a broad spectrum, but I'm gonna tell you, like, I swear, I enjoy the strange.
Thank goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh, thanks, Chris.
So, like, a monster of a dog? Aren't mastiffs like huge?
Yeah, we used to have mastiffs.
I'm pretty sure
I had a
they
Saint
are.
Bernard one time. He was pretty big. He was 200 pounds. Huge.
Oh wow,
Lonnie.
Chris, if you can help us, I guess I should have messaged Frog and said something to him that we were doing a new show tonight.
Are you saying Frog when you say that?
Yeah, that's his nickname. Like, I go by
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
I'm just. Oh.
Yeah, he's their producer. Yes, Lonnie knows. He's seen some of the shows where suddenly, like one show, I just totally went blank. I wasn't here. You could hear me, but couldn't see me. It was, and the camera was working. I don't know. So 130 pound dog. Oh, well, it won't be sleeping with us. So.
Oh, yes, it would.
Yeah, well, you know, push my wife out of the way.
You're the one who's probably going to end up leaving.
Yeah.
Well, do you see Pensacola in my future? Asking for a friend. So.
My dog uses my butt as a pillow and sleeps right between my legs.
I can't sleep with animals. I tried the other night with Pepe. Pepe is my cat. He is a Persian, so he's the smushed face kitty.
Oh.
And I'm over here like, you know, they talk about cats being protectors because they can see the spirit world and stuff. I'll have you know, there has been stuff that has like fallen in this kitchen, and he literally just picks his head up, looks at it, and lays back down. And I'm like, I feel so unsafe right now. Like, this is not what I signed up for. So, yeah.
And correct. When TSN does raid you, that they are some of the cast members from the old Howard Stern show. Well, I shouldn't say old, but the Howard Stern show. So
I feel like my circle of really close friends all came from the Howard Stern show sometimes. Like, this is I probably feel right at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was funny when we got rated on the Misfits. As soon as they started mentioning names, I was like, wait, I know these people.
That's really cool.
Yeah, they're great people, so hopefully they'll drop by.
I'm hearing that weird feedback sound again. That's cool.
Well,
It sounds more like water running. Isn't that weird?
see, I don't hear that at all.
I don't know what it
So
is.
weird.
I'm making sure that it isn't bath night in the next room. I did hear my grandson, so.
Hello. Hi, ladies and Glenn.
Hi.
I'm not sure why the Facebook names don't show up, but they usually just shows up as Facebook user. So
That's weird. Who are you, Facebook user?
well, Andy was watching, so
I think
Oh,
my
and
sister was the one earlier who put that stuff on there. That's what I think.
yeah.
Mhm.
I'm hoping doing these investigations kind of brings out whatever I've had going on for years, where I've been able to see people walk across our deck and where I was pinched in the kitchen, but no one was there. Like, what's going on out here? I've been able to
Wait,
like read cards
where
for
were you
people
pinched at?
before on the back of my arm.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was just curious. Were you like bent over putting something in the oven, or like what's going on?
hey, wasn't me.
I was getting water out of the fridge, and it almost felt like a hair going down the back of my arm. But then something pinched me, and I was like, "Well, it wasn't a hair."
I had a kitchen experience like that, similar, but I got smacked on the tush.
Oh,
I thought it was my at the time I thought it was my ex-husband. And I turned around to like be like, stop it. And he's in the living room and he goes, what are you talking to? I'm like, nothing. It's just not a thing.
My wife works at a medical facility, and she was in the sterile room the other day by herself with just equipment, and something grabbed her butt, and she jumped and screamed.
Why? I mean, why though? Like, but can we really say that we won't do these kind of things if we get the opportunity at some point?
right.
Oh, I will be that ghost. So.
See, like we want to judge this, but I'm like, really though, I'm probably gonna mess with a few people if I get a chance. So
Oh, definitely. I thought about it. I want to go to the theater and see like all the new movies all the time.
oh, I'm like the concerts, no line. I don't have to stand in the pit. I can stand on the stage, like
Right? Yeah.
literally right on the stage. So
Yep. We won't like the music by then.
this is the joke about where people are like, so in like 50 years, when people are asking questions, is it going to be like we're going to use Britney Spears music for trigger objects, or like, are those the kind of jokes that are going to come through?
Yeah. Like Metallica.
I have used Metallica as a trigger object before.
Yeah. Nice.
Yes, AC/DC was one too. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
You never know.
Let's see. Chris said the box was empty when I started out. That I was looking for my mom's necklace for 3 years. It was found in the donated items of hers. I hope she didn't mind. I donated to my church. The lady at my church found it inside. The box was empty when I started out, and I meticulously went through each thing so this wouldn't happen. I have no explanation. Huh.
I don't know that one.
No clue.
Interesting.
That's crazy. And no, I don't think she would have minded you donating to a church. That was very generous of you. It's hard to get rid of our loved ones' things after they pass. I think if you get rid of them in a way like that, where it goes to someone who needs them, that's really good. It helps you put you at peace with everything.
Yeah. That is interesting though. Like how it just kind of showed up.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Sounds like your mom is a very strong presence. So that's really happy and good for you.
Yeah, Chris, that could have been her answer. She was happy you donated everything to the church. Yeah. She said, let the necklace go too.
And Interesting.
Love it. That's awesome. We're so excited to do these investigations and bring all of this to all of you. It's it's going to be amazing. We're just so excited.
It's definitely not going to be boring. I can almost guarantee that.
That's what
I
I'm
think
here
Shay
for.
said she wants to do like 1 to 2 investigations a month. So we'll have probably some 2-hour shows when we have the investigations or a guest. So, but they'll always be at 8 o'clock. They'll always start at 8 on Monday nights. And you
Eastern
never
Standard
know.
Time.
Follow our Facebook page because we may be popping up live. You never know where we'll be. So we
There's
can pop up live at any time.
a place that I'm going to in a couple of weeks that I'm probably going to do a live from. I don't know how great my service will be. So we'll see. It's a place I am getting to investigate for the first time that I've had set up for a while now with a group of friends of mine. And I'm really excited about it. It's an old, it's a bed and breakfast now, but has a really cool history. It's not too far. It's in one of the surrounding states here that's full of just everything you can possibly think of. So, yeah, I'll be disclosing that later too.
So make sure you follow our Facebook page for all the extra stuff we'll have outside of this show because you never know what you'll see on there.
Or who.
Or who. Yeah. If I see something out here at the farm, it'll be on there. And it is creepy out here.
Just don't be whistling at night. Don't do that. I don't.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
Out here and do tree knocks for Sasquatch and everything.
Oh my.
I mean, we have dead deer out here a lot. We find carcasses out here where they've been eaten.
Y'all hear this? And she's trying to drag me out here in the middle of the night. Like I'm now questioning some things.
People walk across our deck who aren't there.
I can handle that. that I'm good with. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm here for the Bigfoot stuff.
Yeah. The dogs, they'll bring bones out of nowhere from the woods.
Okay.
So if I see anything out here, it will be on our Facebook page or TikTok. I'm older, but I'm learning TikTok, I promise.
I'm not. I think I've posted maybe 2 things on TikTok, and I'm not even sure I did it right. My 12-year-old's over here like, no, you got to do this, this, and this, and hit this button and this. And I'm like,
right. Yes. The younger generation knows about all these things. The only way my son and I communicate is Snapchat. We don't even text anymore. We snap.
Y'all got a snap streak? Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. She's yelled at me before. She's like, you better quick, send me a picture. And I'm like,
yeah.
What? Why?
Okay. You're going to run our streak.
Although we have like 200. So in her defense, it actually probably is going to be a little tragic if I let it slide. So, yeah. Or so I've been told.
We have 2 Broke Witches on TikTok as well. And it's always with the number 2, 2 Broke Witches. So we're on Instagram.
I'm trying to make the Instagram and the stuff talk together. That's been really difficult.
Yeah, see. Maybe you should ask your daughter.
You know?
I'll be honest, our technical supervisor for stuff on the show is my son, Kyle. I'm like, Kyle? They can't hear me. What the hell do I do?
I mean, yep. It might get to that point. We'll see. I've struggle busing a little.
The next time I see Kurt when I go visit him at college, I'll be like, can you make this work?
Fix this. Please.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's so bad.
I Google a lot of things. I'm like, how do you do this on Facebook? How did they change
I'm like,
this?
I kind of refuse to do that. Like, I don't care to ask for directions, but apparently I just won't do it when it comes to this kind of stuff. I would rather sit here and hit that button 57 times thinking it's going to
Oh
change. But,
my gosh. I
you know,
Google
that
everything.
58th one might work. It's
Yeah,
bad.
I Google
I'm with you,
everything.
Shay.
Yeah. Probably not the best thing in the world, but oh well.
No, but
And
eventually it works. So
yes. Shay also says like we're going old school. So tell them a little bit about how we're going old school, Shay.
So old school to me, and I'm not knocking anybody who has the latest tech to do investigations and stuff like that whatsoever. But the name of our show is Two Broke Witches. So A, let's keep this in mind. B, keeping it simple. I want to make it seem, and because it is, very easy to do with and without things. Like the best piece of equipment you're ever going to own that I religiously believe is your body. Like you are the best piece of equipment that you can possibly bring into an investigation of any sort, because of your senses. And, you know, I think everybody is born with some sort of an ability. First of all, I think we all have intuition, gut feelings, those kind of things. Some people feel things, it's all your senses, just the other side. You feel, touch, taste, hear, smell, see. And then you have like the sixth one, like spirit, which is just the knowing. Um, that is the most valuable tool that you can have. Also, your phone. I mean, like, I've set the voice recorder many times and done EVP sessions by myself when I'm in some really cool locations. Your basic standard K2 meter. I have somehow collected a plethora of those, which means I've probably accidentally picked them up from people and I don't know I have. So I have like 7. Um, I will also tell people like here's the do's and don'ts when you are using certain pieces of equipment, because there's some things you can do with like EMF because we have phones, because we have power lines, because you know whatever it might be, faulty wiring can trigger objects like that. So, but I still like a K2 because if it works on command with like questions, that's also a good way. But I want to make it seem like this is something everybody can do if they wanted to. You don't have to be just on television. You don't have to be a professional anything. If you're just curious about this and you want to go set up in your living room and turn the lights off and just ask some questions and see what happens. Another old school thing that's kind of made a huge resurgence over the last, I don't know, 10 years, probably because of people using them on television, like dowsing rods, pendulums, things like that. Those are user friendly as long as you know kind of like the basic of hows and the whatnots to do. So those are like my basic ones that I have. Oh, and a handy dandy flashlight and a laser grid. Super cheap things, not very expensive, but can make the world of difference. Shay, I've always wanted to, this just caught me. I've always wanted to ask this. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? Are we talking like Monday morning or Friday night? There's a lot of questions that I
Right.
really would need to ask about this. Neither. I just am. I call myself a gray walker, actually, is what I was told many years ago. Neither good nor bad. I just am. I just exist. But yeah,
naughty
it really
but
does depend on the
nice.
day. Do what?
Naughty but nice.
Yes. I might be on both lists. I'm not really sure yet. So we'll find out. Oh.
Oh my goodness.
You're afraid you'll get a lump of coal, so
Right.
They used to put that in our stockings, but it's that the gum, the bubble gum. So
Oh yeah.
it's the bag of coal. For some reason, it was always in mine. I don't know.
I did that to Kurt one year. I was like, that's all you get.
The Rays would love your answer. Oh Lord.
yeah, be concerned. Be very, very concerned. So.
Oh my
I
gosh.
say a lot of things before I think about it, and then I'm just like, dang, that was real wide open there, wasn't it? So, yep. My friends remind me of this quite often.
It's
Oh
fair.
my gosh.
But yeah, so old school. That is what I mean by that. Keeping it simple.
Yeah.
And when you're on these things, you're gonna be videoing or audio, so we can show that, right?
Yes.
Or listen to that.
Yes. And when I say it's simple, I mean this is probably going to be like my good old iPhone that I have, and probably just using that to film some things and splice things together. Eventually, I might have, like, I do want to have a trail camera though. I am very much wanting to get one of those so that we can use it for like the outdoor investigations. One of those set it and forget it, and see if we do pick up some stuff after we stir up a few things, maybe. So it's not going to be like, super great quality probably, but you will see some really cool things. Will it be a little grainy? That's iffy. We'll find out. Stay tuned. But yes.
Again, we'll have a Venmo. You can send us money to get equipment.
Help me.
GoPro. There you go. Well, what about these apps for phones that, like, I had an app for a while that would just suddenly say something, that would just say a word. Do those things really work, or is that just the computer picking a word at random?
Amanda, have you ever used the apps for like anything?
Yeah, I tried one once. We went to the mansion, Griffin Gate. They let us go in the Griffin Gate mansion,
Ooh.
where that girl killed herself, and we tried a phone app in there, but we didn't pick up anything. We didn't get any words at all. So I really don't think that it just spits out words, because I think it would have when we opened it. Yeah, we tried it
What were you
once.
using?
I can't remember. It was years ago now.
So I have, which is like the basic. I'm iffy on some of the apps, but there are a few that we have been able to, like, someone has it open, and it might be like an Ovulus, which is basically just a word bank. So it will just spit out words. But I have iOvulus, and it's never just given me stuff. Like, it really does seem like it matters where I'm at when I'm using that one. But we have compared that one and a couple of other those kind of the Ovilus kind of apps to a spirit box that we've had playing. We've gotten similar words. So I've seen where that works out. The other one, what is that one? The ones where you can like use it to pick up. It'll show you where, like, Ghost Radar or whatever. I don't know what the newest ones are, but like
the little stick man.
no,
Yeah,
this one's actually like it looks like a military green screen that I use that does the little radar thing. Will show
circle.
blips and stuff on the screen when there's like a ghost in your presence or where it's at. They're fun. Who am I to say that it's not exactly correct? But there's a few that I won't use if I'm actually investigating. You're talking about like what is it, the SLS camera? Where it shows the stick figures, the stuff that was based off originally used for like video games, which is still used, what they use for like the Connect and some other stuff, I think is where that tech came from. That camera is really cool. That is not something that I can currently own. It is fancy.
And I was playing with it. Welcome, Duke. We're glad you're here. Doing well. Yeah, I tried. My mom's house is by a cemetery, and so I think it was by the Ghost Network. And I was just out in the yard walking around, and I would just randomly get words. Sometimes they were interesting, sometimes they were really crazy. So I just don't know. I don't know that to trust an app.
Well, there is one that I am going to get here very soon. As soon as I got to find a good tablet to be able to take with me. The Phasma box is, if you have never used that one, that might be my favorite one to use, the way that the words and stuff present themselves on it. Yeah, that's probably my favorite one to use besides using a spirit box or an Ovilus or something like that. It's really cool.
No, Salty, she's not single.
No, no, I am not.
Yes.
You might see this and be like, maybe, but like, no, I am not.
And
I've
Salty.
been rooting for you so long, Shay. I'm like, she has a man. Leave her alone.
Some of us thought it would take a
Amanda
or
work.
sacrifice, probably.
This is bummer.
I love it. Oh God.
We'll get you something. Oh, bless it.
Yeah, have your PayPal and Venmo ready. They might just get you something tonight. You never know. So.
Oh goodness.
Never know. Well, I'm personally, as the button pusher, looking forward to this because it's not a lot of stress on me. You all do all the talking. You all do the heavy lifting. I just push buttons and upload. So.
Yeah, you're like I said,
glad.
you're the great, powerful Oz, the man behind the curtains.
Yeah.
You're making it happen.
We really appreciate you, Glenn.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I enjoy doing that. So.
Thank you, Salty. You're gonna make me. Oh my Lord. Oh,
Duke. Just
well, remember, once we get monetized too at 500, that's going to help out with a lot of stuff. So I'll get equipment on this end to help things go better. So
yeah, definitely. Yep.
We're just a baby right now.
So make sure you subscribe, like, and share.
That's right.
I'm gonna have to get that tattooed on me somewhere so I can remember to say that.
I have it on a little note on my laptop here.
You're cheating. You could have just said, I am that good. Don't give your secrets away.
I've had 5 or 6 concussions now.
Wrestling, dude.
This side of my head can be used as a coaster. I just turn like this and it's flat right here.
I'm having a flashback to Cousin Eddie, just hearing you talk about this from the Griswolds Christmas.
Yeah.
Somebody just pile drive you? How the heck did that happen?
Oh yeah, she picked me up for a suplex and lost her balance, and right down on my head I went.
Ouch.
Yeah. Good time. And then I drove back from Tennessee and don't remember it.
Oh my God. Note to self, Shay drives.
I'll get you there faster.
Well, now we're going to race who beats the GPS.
What were we expecting? A woman with a crooked nose and a wig? Come on now. I got better choice for women than that. So
not all witches are green, bro.
I'm melting.
Although,
better watch out. I have some water here.
Oh, what do I always say? Sugar melts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're so sweet.
It's always, I pick on whoever and they're like, oh, but it's raining. I'll be like, it's okay. You'll float.
No, that's like talking to Georgie. We're not, I don't do clowns.
Right.
That's literally what I just thought. Oh my God.
What about little people, short people, really short people? See, as your producer, I need to learn the things that scare you all. So on the other show, one of the girls is afraid of little people. So and exactly what he was saying.
We used to soup. Okay. Well, that does sound like a party at that point. So, dang. I don't even know where to go with that.
Until you suplex your little friend.
It's not a party until the little people show up, right?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Or the witches.
So Shay, in the other realm, can they be short people, tall people? Can they change it? What are they? Or when they die, that's how they are.
So that's a really good question. something I have seen before is I have seen people who appear younger than they were when they passed, or as creepy as it sounds, I've seen kids that are older than they were when they passed.
Oh, wow.
I do think they can choose as to how they present themselves. The kid one creeps me out sometimes, but at the same time, I'm like, it's kind of also reassuring that they don't get stuck in a certain form. And I have had people like present themselves with different faces when they're trying to like misdirection kind of stuff, or lie about things if they're ashamed of stuff. I've seen that too. So yeah, but I also think it depends on how much they've learned to use their whatever energy they're getting their life stuff from. So the older, the stronger, that kind of does make a difference too.
Interesting.
No, salty dog, I do not hate you.
Well, I just read that one.
I might have a spell for that.
First of all, I did that for free. So if you would like to compensate me, yes.
Be careful how they compensate. So. Monetary.
Thanks. That word right there that I was not going to be able to say or remember. Yeah, that one.
I have all of my spell books and they're on my coffin shelf.
I want a coffin shelf. Actually, you saw it come about a coffin shelf. If I could show you guys the shelf that's next to me, I don't do well putting stuff together, like building furniture. It works. For how long is a good question. So I have one of those like Walmart shelves that you just like have the pop rivets basically go in there and hold a little cardboard back onto it. It's leaning now and looks more like a coffin shape than it used to. It like literally is slanted. It's not good. It's like my makeshift coffin shelf. If I try hard enough, it could lean some more. I love those though.
Abe builds them.
My birthday's coming up in a couple months. It don't even have to be a big one.
It is. I love it.
It's interesting you say that they can come across at different ages, because I've wondered, about, kids who, as a paramedic, I've ran a lot of calls. So I've wondered about how that worked. So as a paramedic, I will tell you, I've seen some weird things too. So
I don't doubt that at all. It did throw me though the first time I experienced that happening. And it was an event where the lady had lost the baby. So it was an infant at the time. And I kept saying, I was like, no, they're like 2 or 3 and they look like this. And she goes, I've dreamed about this, and this. And it was about 2 or 3 years ago that this happened. And I was like, okay, so, which kind of makes sense for communication purposes. They would have speech then. They would have the ability to point or show or do. So there's a lot of things, again, like I said, I wish I had all the answers, but this is all based on just what I've experienced. So I'm sure there are probably other people out there who have seen different things too, who have the abilities and do what I do. But yeah, from my experience, it is always interesting when children come through like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Your job though, the stuff that you've encountered,
well, that was one thing that always concerned me, is because a lot of times I'm the last person they see or hear. And I don't necessarily want to be the first person you come visit.
That's very fair. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sometimes a little odd. So
I would be interested to have like a first responders night, or like that kind of a person, if we had a whole bunch of a show just based upon experiences for that. People who work, first responders, nurses, people who work at like end of life care and stuff. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
To get a peek.
Yeah, I'm sure. I can't imagine the hospice nurses.
Yeah. Takes a special human to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I worked for a few years at a cancer clinic as a paramedic. I was like, I got to get back in the field. I can't do this. So you get attached to people. So
Yeah.
Whether or not you want to, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Whether you're just sitting there talking sports one day, you know. Well, I mean, I ran a call with a guy. All we did, all that we were asked to do is lift him out of the floor. He'd fallen, and we helped him up. We sat him on the bed, and I noticed he had a Washington Redskins poster. And growing up in D.C., I was a Washington Redskins fan, now a Commander. And so we were talking that, and I didn't realize something he said until much later that night. But we left it. We set him up in his bed. You know, everything's cool. We had I'm putting my hand on the door of the fire truck, and his mom's screaming, I can't wake him up. I'm like, what do you mean you can't wake him up? We just had him sitting up. I go up there. He's gone.
Oh my goodness. You just never know.
Yeah. Yeah. So the last thing we were talking about was Redskins football. So yeah, that freaked me out for a long time, because then I found out one of my favorite players growing up as a child, when he was talking about his cousin, when I was doing the report and I got his name, I was like, wait a minute. And I knew who he was talking. It all clicked right then. So yeah, he was cousins to one of my favorite players growing up. I was like, how does this happen in such a small town just outside of Atlanta?
Bye, Salty. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
They're gonna love you. So
Oh yeah.
It'll be good times. So yeah, you're thinking about something. I can tell.
I can tell. Yeah.
Well, like, it just, yeah, when you were talking about that, I had a weird thing happen this summer actually on vacation. That was a moment that my daughter got to kind of see how first responders work and what happens when it doesn't work out. Or at least at that point in time. Now they could have got to the hospital and it could have been different, but we were at Gulf Shores and it was storming really bad. So riptides were a thing and warnings had been out all day. We had the unfortunate moment of seeing some people get caught up in the riptide that were literally right next to us. It was the family that was next to us. And they, like, it was one of those moments, like, even I have training, like, I know what to do, like, you know, CPR, things to look for when people potentially could have like a drowning issue. This was an exhaustion issue, and probably this man already had a heart condition. So it was so scary. And my daughter's standing there, and I keep asking her, I'm like, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like explaining, here's what they're going to do. This is what they're going to do next. And the dad, we had talked, they had brought him, he got it back up. The other two people they were still trying to rescue, they'd sat him down in a chair because he started looking dazed. And I'm sitting there looking at him, and this guy was talking to him who I think was probably, he had to be an EMT paramedic or something because of his questions. He walked off. I start looking and I was like, he's gone. Something's wrong. Like, his face looked weird and he was out, stopped breathing completely. They had to get all the stuff out, and they had, luckily they had one of the compression machines that, you know, most places aren't fortunate to actually have. So we got to see that happen. But it was a learning experience. And the worst part for being able to do what I do sometimes is when you know that nobody's there anymore. And I was talking to my sister about it afterwards that night. We were like, you know, praying for the family and wondering how they're doing because they were staying in the same like condos and stuff that we were, and this was like their yearly family trip and stuff. And we were like, now the memory is going to be tarnished. Like, you know, there was a whole bunch of stuff, and we were talking, and my sister was like, so we both were like, yeah, I don't feel like he made it. So it was just a whole moment, but it was very eye-opening to see that kind of thing happen right in front of you. So
yeah,
and that's what was like playing in the back of my head. Somebody's like talking to me about it. So I don't know. But yeah, that's what made me think of that. Sometimes having this ability is really a blessing, and I hate to say a curse, but it's not always the most fun.
Oh, sure.
yeah, definitely. the things you see and hear, just can't imagine.
When you said Gulf Shores, I was afraid you were going to start telling a story about a rescuer who died while trying to rescue him, because I knew that person.
No, but that was a thing. That there was one guy that he got really lucky. He just happened to look like the most amazing swimmer I've ever seen in my life, but he had to be taken care of when he came back to shore.
Yeah, he was a chief with my department, and he retired and moved to Gulf Shores and decided he'd been a paramedic firefighter for 30 years. He wanted to do something different, so he became a police officer, and he helped them form the rescue, water search, and all that. And they got a call. He went and was out there. He brought 2 people in. And on the third one, he told him, he says, you here, I'm pushing you. I can't go anymore. And then he was gone. And yeah. So when you were talking about that, I was like, oh, I hope it wasn't that.
No, thankfully,
I
don't think it was that, but that was definitely, I had never seen that happen in person before. So it was like at a beach. You hear about all the warnings and stuff, but I was like, oh,
yeah,
Jesus. Yeah. It was tripping. That's why I'm saying the stuff that the people see that are like the first responders and things. I would love to get a whole episode and have some feedback. And if people had questions about cases they've been on, I would love to try and help give them maybe some answers and stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a house fire, and we went up the steps and was making what when we say we're making a push, we're pushing fire with the water. And so we're making a push. It's really hot fire. Got it out. We go back down, come back up, top of the stairs. The paneling, there's an outline of a person. It's burnt all around that and smoke all around that, but there's just an outline of a person. And we're like, we were just at the top of these stairs putting out the fire. None of us saw anything. There was nobody in the house. There was no statue. It's like, okay, explain that one. So.
It's crazy.
Oh, that's beyond my expertise.
Oh yeah, and fires are weird. You will get a lot of weird things in a fire happen. So yeah.
Yeah. You wonder if it was someone like watching over the people in the house or something.
Could be, yeah. Well, and I would think like a lot of the spirits might even freak a little bit like we do. I mean, you're hanging out and then all of a sudden the house is on fire. So
I hadn't really thought about that. I might have to start asking that question when I go to places that I know have had that happen into the building, like where they've had to rebuild and restructure.
Yeah.
Ooh, food for thought.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's more trauma. So then,
because that's what they need.
Right.
No.
You were talking about going to cemeteries and stuff. Do you go to those places and just, I don't know what the word is, chat, or, I mean, is that couldn't be a peaceful place for you, I don't think.
Actually, they're usually the most quiet.
Really?
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, do you want to hang out where your bones are buried, or you want to hang out where your family and memories and fun stuff is? Like, generally it's usually, unless there's something off about the cemetery, which that tends to be the reason a lot of some of the more famous haunted cemeteries, there's a lot of weird things that have happened there, or the person might have died in a traumatic way or buried alive, depending, just depends on where it's at. But for the most part, cemeteries are usually not a place that I dread going. I actually like to take my kid and we go to different cemeteries. We didn't actually do too much of that in the summer, but we probably will in the fall here. It's a teaching moment, and it's a respect moment, especially when you see younger graves and things. And you can learn a lot about a town too, just by going to their cemetery. If a virus or illness has spread through the town, you'll see a whole bunch at the same time. If you have an area where there's veterans or things like that, you can learn about the history that way. And also to see how much, what money can do as far as a remembrance for people throughout history. You can build a tower to yourself, or you just have the humble one over here. Like, they all deserve the same amount of respect. So that's something that that's just something that I like to do. We and her go venturing to some really random places, and cemeteries is one of our favorites.
Have you been to the Lexington Cemetery?
Yes, it's so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the trees start blossoming and stuff, it's absolutely gorgeous. That was one of the main ones. That one, and then the one in Frankfurt, the huge one in Frankfurt, where like Daniel Boone and stuff is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one was fun. The here in Winchester, we stopped here too, but it was really creepy when we did here because there was one area that there, and I swear there had to be like 50 or 60 vultures in this tree. It's in the back of the cemetery. First of all, I'm like, do we really want to go back there? Because what am I going to see, or what are we going to find? Because my daughter is sensitive as well to things and can do a lot of the same stuff I can do. So it was the weirdest thing. We brought all the way back there. There's an area specifically for children or babies. Like, I didn't know that was back there. It was weird, but yeah, that Lexington, Frankfurt, here, Richmond. There's a couple other ones. Oh, there's one we pulled over at the side of the road that wasn't far from Battlefield, too. Like the little tiny ones that you can't really get onto because they're on people's property. Those are some of the ones that I've gotten a lot of evidence from ones that are like that. The bigger ones, sometimes it takes a little longer.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the Lexington Cemetery.
It has good vibes.
Mm.
It is peaceful.
That huge monument in the back right-hand corner to that one man.
I didn't realize there were two different parts to it too. Like, you have the part over the side on the here, and then the side on the left. Like, when you're driving, I didn't realize how big it was till we actually got back through there. So
yeah, it's huge. But apparently,
what?
Apparently, he was. I won't mention the name or anything. I'm not even sure if I remember his name correctly, but apparently he was like one of those preachers on TV who got people to send him money.
A televangelist.
Well, there.
Oh,
see,
that was weird.
What the heck?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was super weird. A televangelist, yes.
Maybe I should have said it quieter. I don't know.
Televangelist. And that's how he was able to afford all of that.
See, they're creepy in real life to me. So can't imagine the after.
Praise the Lord. Yeah. Thank you, Jesus. Pass the plate. So Chris is asking, did your daughter come to you saying that she had abilities, or did you ask her if she had ever had any experiences?
When she was little, there's things that she would tell me that she would see sometimes that I saw, so I knew it wasn't like her imagination, unless my level of crazy is that way too. And then there's been other stuff as she's been growing up. She's mentioned to me, this happened at school today, kind of scared me, or I saw this. Or my favorite is when I've tried to hide stuff from her sometimes. She just knows it and she'll call me out on it. She did that one time when she was younger, to the point where I was like, well, this is going to go just really great. I can't do anything. Yeah, but I haven't pushed anything on her. I haven't asked her to believe anything. It's just, if she wants to talk about it, that's great. If she has questions, that's awesome. But I'm very much a believer in letting her decide what's best for her, and as far as beliefs and what she wants to do and what she doesn't want to do. She's gone on investigations with me before and stuff too, and she still has that thing like all of us do. Sometimes being in the dark is not the most fun because it's the unnerving situations. So as long as we're not in total pitch black darkness, where because she does what I do, you see a lot of the shadows that are darker than the dark. that's a no-go for her. That's one of her like this we got to go moments. Like she'll be grabbing onto me. She's like, we got to peace out right now. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, I yes. So we talk. We have a very open dialogue about it.
That's good.
Interesting.
Awesome.
And no, Andy, it wasn't me. She mentioned the preacher and she was gone. So
yeah. Weird things happen.
I do.
Yeah.
God. Well, like even through the screen and stuff, can you see, like if there was somebody behind me, can you see stuff like that, or do you have to be in person?
Nope, I don't have to be in person. I actually wouldn't even have to see the thing. Remote viewing is something that I do, that I do enjoy doing. I forget though sometimes that I can do it, and I'll start describing stuff for some people, and they're like, where'd you get the picture? And I'm like, what picture? Do you think I didn't take the time out to pre-research you before I met you to like investigate? I enjoy doing that though. It does make it easier to help out too if I get a phone call, say from a friend who's like, hey, there's something here. Can you like pop in real quick and just kind of see what it is and maybe give us some advice or get rid of it or explain what's going on? So it's a very useful tool I have in my metaphysical toolbox, basically. So
and you have to put yourself in, I don't know, a trance or some type of way, or
I wish I had to be that cool, because it looks really neat when you got to take a moment out. Sometimes, yes, I do have to focus and concentrate a little bit more and maybe like steady my mind or ground for a second, depending on what kind of situation I think I'm going to walk into if I'm doing that. Because you do walk into situations that way if you're not completely prepared, because you can get a feel for it before you do it and kind of be like, this might need a little more protecting or something. But no, I mean, I can just kind of be sitting here having some Cheetos and just do my thing. Like I'm not as mystical as I wish I could be sometimes, but I mean I could if I wanted to, but it doesn't require too much sometimes. So
if you ever see anything on me, you let me know.
I'll just be like 911. I'll just text you that and you should just be like, I'm gonna walk outside for a bit.
Oh, it's not safe out there either.
Okay, so I don't know what to tell you. Panic room or your car, the closest Dairy Queen. I don't know. Do something.
Yeah.
Well, listening back on the audio on some shows when I'm editing it, I've heard things in the audio that we never heard on the show. And then on the same time, some of the girls on the show have heard stuff I didn't hear until I played it back.
I think that's always fun. Yeah. Like I love finding those little tidbits. Like EVPs don't happen all the time. Like people think they do. Because I promise you, you can sit in some locations for 3 or 4 hours running audio. You won't get nothing but crickets and stomachs. That'll be about all you're gonna hear. So I love EVPs.
Yeah, I look over occasionally and see my little microphone lighting up. I'm like, well, I'm not talking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll have to go back and listen to right before I disappeared when she said televangelist.
Yes.
See if you hear anything.
I will. If I hear somebody say, pass the plate, I'll know what it was.
So your homework is to report back what we accidentally stirred up.
Yeah.
Just don't leave it here.
I'm talking about cemeteries and televangelists.
Oh, Lord, the things.
My mom's house is right next to a cemetery, and a lot of people didn't want to buy it because it was there. And I'm like, those are the dead ones. Those aren't the ones you got to worry about. It's the ones up walking around.
Exactly. They're not, the neighbors are not complaining on you. Okay. Like, I get that.
My mother-in-law's mother is buried practically in their backyard because she's in the cemetery behind their house.
Well, in the South, well, not just in the South, but because I live here, and please don't come at me if you say Kentucky's not part of the South, because we're an in-between state, so I can claim it. that's the thing. You have the family cemeteries. They were on the properties. I know that my dad's mom is buried on the hill right past where their house was. And it is a hill. Like you have to climb it to get up to the cemetery. Those are the ones that I find the most intriguing. There's a few that I've been taken to before that I wish I had known the backstory. I probably would have said, I'm not doing that tonight, but I didn't. And one of the most terrifying experiences I've ever had was in some backwoods outside of Maysville, which is already one of the most haunted places in Kentucky. Like, I don't know where they took me at specifically. I just know it was outside of Maysville, and I have never been so scared in a very long time. This was like Christmas. Yeah, it was on Christmas like a few years ago. That's a whole different story. But yes, the little family cemeteries are where it's at if you guys are wanting to investigate. So if you have family members so you can do that, I highly encourage.
Welcome back, Salty. I'm glad you have a grilled cheese. Glad to
I'm
have
so
you
hungry.
back.
That sounds real good. I've got like ramen is probably what I'm about to have. So
yeah.
Nothing wrong with ramen.
This has been great. We're so excited.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I look forward to hearing about this place you may have for us to go investigate.
Yes, I've got to reach out to him tomorrow.
Okay.
I do have a YouTube channel. Is there anything uploaded? There's one thing uploaded. I just made it like a couple of weeks ago, so you have to wait and get so many people before you can go live, which I can do now. It's just Psychic Shay Smith is what I am on there.
It says at Psychic Artist Shay.
Is that what I did?
So it would be
YouTube.com
/ at Psychic Artist Shay.
Look, see, she knows. I don't have a clue. I just plugged in some stuff. I think Psychic Artist Shay is what everything is under, I do believe. My Instagram, my YouTube, TikTok.
Good, Chris.
Yeah.
Awesome, every Monday night at 8 o'clock, we're going to be here. So.
Yep, every Monday.
Now, do you think by next week you'll have an investigation, or you'll still have cool stories? But
I'm going to try. If it works out. We may. I'm probably going to message him as soon as we get off here.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to producing this. So
it'll be our pre-Halloween investigation because spooky season.
Ooh, yeah.
Like it couldn't get any more spooky. We have to go raise the spooky from the dead.
That's a good way of saying it. Like, I need to write that down. Doing it right now. So yeah, I think I'm gonna. That ramen's calling my name.
Yeah.
Well, if y'all are ready to wrap it up anytime, I told y'all this is your show. You just tell me when to push the button.
It's time. Tis time. I'm out of tea.
Tis time.
All right. Well, if you're into my show, one of my shows, which Amanda is on, we get the Paranormal guys on Wednesday, which is Wednesday at 9. I'm going to pull it up here because I'm a bad host and I've forgotten to email the guests this week.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, let's see. Oh, we got a Bigfoot researcher. So that to start off at 9.
Yeah.
And then we have another author. So, yeah. So it'll be a good show. And then on Saturday, of course, there's a Misfits show. So that's where we get a little bit crazy and do stupid things and talk about our shenanigans. So,
so basically what we do, that's what this show's going to be a lot about. Just
add the spooky shit.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Shay, do you hate when people make grilled cheese sandwiches and smash them flat? Yes, monsters. Okay, that's only reserved for huge stack sandwiches and really big burgers.
Yeah, why would you?
I'm serious about my food.
Flat?
Like, you would kill it. The butter, like.
Plus, it would leave your hand all greasy.
Monsters. That's why.
Yeah, not a fan.
On that note.
Yeah. You're gonna do some food critics stuff too.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks,
Catch you guys next
everyone.
week.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We need it. We're not
Yes,
begging.
please do.
No, actually, we are.
Yeah, we kind of are. We kind of are.
I sometimes feel guilty about it.
Oh, no shame. No shame.
Thanks, everyone.
Crunchy or smooth, he's asking. If you're talking about your grilled cheese, it's going to be smooth. Who likes burnt bread?
Crunchy peanut butter.
Peanut butter smooth.
Oh, okay. See, she knows what I'm talking about. She already knew I was still on grilled cheese.
I like food.
Better watch it, Salty. She'll find you. So.